Вам тут з Каліфорнії передають вітання, з Амстердаму. Каліфорнія.
From Kyiv, from Sofiyevska
Square. California.
Historical.
People loved your voice during the concert,
Thank you so much,
Margaryta.
guys.
And I was stunned.
That was
Wow.
awesome.
That's powerful. Thank
you.
for the great concert, guys. If you haven't watched the concert of Margaryta and Igor, you gotta check it out. It's on my channel from 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
Yes,
було вже
my
2 тижні тому.
mother so likes your video and so like your stream and
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
thankful for you for your stream.
Ага. Дякую, дуже дякую, дуже приємно. Guys, I think you understood that. Дуже приємно is it is very pleasant for me. And дякую, you know that word. All of you know that word.
Watching in
So-
Minnesota, Australia.
I love that
Yeah,
Lila is here
sure.
because she's reading the chat. I don't usually have time for that. You
Oh,
see,
from
I'm
Sweden.
communicating with you, and I don't
Sweden.
have time to look there.
I saw that beautiful singing. The concert was very impressive. See,
see?
hot women in
Compliments for
Ukraine
you.
everywhere.
Oh,
Walk
thank
around
you.
Russia and everyone is ugly, low.
They're saying that the
Stretch.
concert was amazing.
I would answer on this. Margaryta, your
answer
singing
here.
was
You cannot type
wonderful.
during the stream,
I
unfortunately.
cannot. I enjoyed her concert and her hair was beautiful. Netherlands.
Hair was awesome.
Netherlands. I'm having a crazy old spiritual wedding moment.
No,
But the cat is
thank
a
you
light
so
worker. Lithuania, greetings from Herland, Netherlands.
Much. Litva.
Yeah,
Germany.
Lithuania here. Taz is from Lithuania.
Lithuania.
It's so beautiful.
It's more people now.
Being here
Yeah.
now in square, Sofia Square in Kyiv in Ukraine and see all of your message. It's so wow. In all in more
Places.
places in the world. It's so wow.
Yeah, so cool. She has the voice of an angel. Hello from New York. Hello, New York from Kyiv. I wish you all have a great day. Yeah, thank you. Wow, guys, you're
Thank
coming
you.
and coming. It's 145 people.
Yeah, it's actually more
In
and
the middle
more.
of the stream, there was 100. Now it's
Yeah.
more people. So,
And
of
no
course,
people here in the square almost.
but we will have to finish at some point. By the way, I see Philip Ittner there. That's Philip is from US, if I'm not mistaken. He's a journalist, a good guy. We gotta go talk to him.
Sending love and strength from Pacific Northwest. From Belgium, Lila seem to like big far countries. Huh? You seem to like big far countries. I don't get your
Belgium.
message. Yeah, but I don't get the message. Sending love and strength. New Hampshire. Oh,
New Hampshire.
thank you so much. From Texas. New Zealand. Love to you all. Give Rick a hug. He does a fantastic job. Let's give Rick a hug.
It's a hug moment. You see? Thank you.
And
Awesome.
we
Whatever
hug
you ask.
Yeah, guys, we hug you too.
We just all like this. stream.
Let's do it like this. Like this. Like we're hugging you guys, you see? Okay, so
Verdansk is Ukraine.
yeah, Berdyansk is Ukraine. I love Berdyansk. But I don't think that's a person from Berdyansk. Yeah, Philip Ittner, he's there. Maybe I'll wave to him and he'll see. Philip, come
Oh,
here.
love Scotland, thank you.
I don't think
With
Phillips
all three of you reading comments
sees
and
me
staring at the
because he's
same,
staring at his
I
phone.
see why the cat is so happy. Ukrainians are lovely people.
Oh, Margaryta
So,
went to Philip. Sorry,
keep
just a
singing.
second. She went to Philip to
job.
call him.
Sick job in this cold world. Thank you. Sick joy, not sick job. Philip Ittner made a promise to support Ukraine during Maidan, and he's here now. I don't know him. I haven't heard about him, but he's here.
Yeah, he's here. He's coming. He's being brought by Margaryta.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that voice.
Hello, my friend.
Oh, hi.
you
Good to
remember
see you.
me?
Конечно, yes. How are you?
Happy to see you. I noticed you there, and I said, "Oh, guys, there's Philip
Yeah, yeah,
Ittner there.
yeah,
we gotta
that's
call
me.
him
That's
and
me.
talk to him." How do you
Yeah.
like the protest, my friend?
I wasn't actually here on the protest. I've been filming down in Mikhailovsky. So
What was there?
Nothing. I'm filming a vlog about the 2-year and the
Okay.
10-year anniversary
Okay.
and
Oh.
things like that.
Okay.
So I heard it, but I wasn't actually here for it. I saw it from a distance. You know, the Azov prisoners. I truly hope that they will get returned to Ukraine. But knowing the enemy, knowing the Russians, I think it's going to be a very difficult thing to achieve, and it makes me very sad. They sacrificed so much. I remember I was here at the beginning of the war. I came a week after the full-fledged invasion because, remember, it was COVID time, so I had to get a test to get on a Lufthansa flight and then, get in. But I remember the sacrifices that Azov Steel made to keep Ukraine free, to bog down the Russians in their initial invasion, and the cost that they paid. And I have other journalist friends, and I've spoken to people who were in Mariupol during that period of time, and it's something we need to remember. We can't forget them, obviously, but I don't want to be pessimistic. But the Russians, they're incredibly cruel.
The best way to freedom is to give more losses to Russia. Like yesterday with
100%.
A50,
Yes.
another one.
Yes.
I'm sure that at maximum in a week, there's going to be another exchange for 200 people. Every time we do a major strike to some Russian boats or to some Russian planes, they exchange people, because you really need to punch the bully hard for the bully to give you something.
They won't understand anything else.
Yeah.
I lived in Russia, unfortunately, for 5 years. I lived in Moscow.
When was it?
Very tail end of Yeltsin, beginning of Putin.
Uh-huh.
So I saw what Putin was doing to his own people.
Yeah.
The sickness in Russia goes well before Putin. Putin is a result of the sickness.
He's just,
But
yeah,
I
the
saw
result of
his rise to power. I saw what Putin did to his own people in Moscow. I went to the apartment buildings where he killed, and the metro station where, he in part killed 300 of his own people so he could rise to power. I have known the threat from Vladimir Putin since the late 90s, early 2000s. And this is, as Joker Dudayev said in Chechnya, that the future of Russia as an empire, as a country, as a people, will be decided here on Ukrainian soil, and he's 100% right.
That's the only way.
This is an existential threat for both Ukraine and Russia. One is going to survive, the other will not. One or the other will be permanently changed forever. Ukraine will either find itself free and sovereign with its own history to write, with its own future. I believe this 100%. No, I agree. I'm not being pessimistic about that.
Choice.
You have no other choice, and it's right. It's the right thing, and it's the will of the Ukrainian people. Or Russia will succeed, Ukraine will be subjugated again, something I do not believe will happen. But if the Russians lose, and this I believe they will do, they will have to finally look in the mirror and make the changes that they themselves know they have to make. If you spend enough time with Russians, especially after a couple bottles of vodka, they know how damaged their own country is and how screwed up they are.
But they're used to living
They're
it.
used to it, and it's going to take a lot of hard work to change society in Russia from this idea of empire to a nation just like any other. And they're not going to do it unless they're forced to do it, and they won't do it until they lose here. We in the West, I am ashamed. I apologize to you for what is happening, especially in my own country, in the United States. I think we'll do the right thing, but every day that we don't, more Ukrainians are dying, and so I apologize to you. I can't apologize for my entire country, but as an American, I apologize to you. We'll do the right thing in the end. I believe it 100%.
This is not lost, and it's also in your hands, in the hands of Americans. Don't let Trump come to power. If he comes to power with his deceit and with his trezub. You need to show it, if he comes to power, you gotta fight to get the freedom back, because he wants to become a dictator.
Well, he's Putin's puppet.
Yeah, he is.
Putin installed him in the United States. And, the only defense that I have to you, my Ukrainian friends is to say it's not the same because our people aren't dying, but understand that we are under attack as well. You know the methods of the GRU. You know the the methods of the SVR and the rest of them, and what Russians do to undermine democracy, to destroy democracy. We're under attack in the United States, and we're only just waking up to it.
The problem, you didn't realize that
we
you're
didn't
under
realize
attack.
it. We didn't know how deeply they'd infiltrated our politics. We're starting to learn. We should have learned a long time ago. I can't equate the two because every day Ukrainians are suffering and dying and being bombed and there's soldiers on the front. It's not the same, but we're under attack too. But what the Russians are doing in America and in the West is they're attacking our minds, not our bodies.
Poison in it.
Yeah, useful
It's a
idiots.
poison.
Philip, I want to introduce you to Lila because I haven't done that.
Nice to meet you.
Lila Trokhymets. Maybe you've heard about her work or the work of her brother Roman Trokhymets.
I'm afraid not. Sorry.
He's a Ukrainian
He's a
soldier. He's a defender. He's from 3rd Assault Brigade.
Okay.
Azov, he was in Azov and then they changed it to the
Was
first.
he just recently in Avdiivka as well?
No,
No, he
he is
wasn't.
on
'Cause-
recovery after Bakhmut.
He had a lot of
hell in Bakhmut and still trying to recover from it.
I've been to places like the Superhuman Center in Lviv,
Yeah.
and I've seen the resilience of the soldiers and the people who recover from
Yeah.
the brutality of the Russians. And what struck me about a place like that, and I don't know if you've
know,
witnessed the same,
yeah.
but they're not sad places.
No, oh,
They're not sad.
That's
They're not.
actually-
They
yeah.
don't feel sorry for themselves. They're walking
No,
around missing
they're
limbs.
heroes, yes.
They don't have legs. They don't have arms. But I go to the Superhuman Center in Lviv, and there is no crying.
Yeah,
There is
exactly.
no despair. There is no. In fact, many of them, if they're capable, want to go back to the front.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
want to
so
fight.
They do.
something powerful.
It's incredibly powerful.
Yes, it's something what changing your inspiration of all bad дуже поганих наслідків війни. Consequences of war. And you look on these you look on these
Heroes.
heroes, defenders.
They're heroes. Yes,
They
true
are.
It's
heroes.
so
They
powerful.
are, and look, and I don't want to make a picture like everything is perfect. You know this.
No, of course.
Ukraine has many years of work to do.
Yeah.
Even after the war, there are going to be soldiers that will need to be taken care of. There will be buildings that need to be rebuilt.
Recuperation of everything, of the buildings. Of
There will be
people,
a
of
fight
everything.
against corruption and the legacy of living under Moscow's corruption, and its cruelty. But nothing's going to change until the Moscovites are gone. And I call them Moscovites. I don't call them Russians. I call them Moscovites because in many ways, what Ukraine is fighting against is the same fight. If not exactly, but it's the same fight as you see in Ekaterinburg or Irkutsk, or the brutality of the Moscovites affects their own people, and then they spread that poison to their nearby neighbors and to other
everywhere.
countries. So a victory for Ukraine, I hope, will actually be a victory for Russia ultimately. Because I am hoping,
Not that we
despite the
care
difficulties,
about it so
not
much,
that you care. Well,
honestly.
I'm not a Ukrainian. I'm a foreigner. I'm an American.
Sorry,
I
nothing
stand
against.
shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine.
Yeah.
But I've also lived in Russia, and I have Russian friends. I know the illness that is inside Russia.
The good Russians are already out of Russia. The ones
Well, the problem
who
is I don't know if there are good Russians
Yes.
because
because
the
good, the ones
it's the
who-
poison
Useful.
there. They're
Useful Russians.
The
We should say
the
that.
useful are on the soul of Ukraine already.
well, there are but
The
but
ones
the
who are
po- the-
adequate, let's
well,
call them.
if you live under the system of Russia, where you are taught that you
poisonous.
have the Ruskaya dusha and you
fuck.
are unique and you don't expect what the Europeans have, don't expect what the Westerners have.
No,
This illness, this sickness within Russia,
Imperialism.
this imperialistic mindset
yeah.
needs to be defeated, and it needs to be defeated here. And not that you care, I understand that, but let me say, I actually do hope ultimately it will be better for the Russians because ever since the time of the Decembrists. You know, they have been trying to make these essential reforms to Russia, and they keep losing, not only because the Tsar or the church or whatever it is crushes them again, but sadly there's also an illness within their soul, the Ruskaya Dusha, that that prohibits them from making the changes that they themselves know they need to make. So maybe when they finally lose in Ukraine and Ukraine becomes free and independent and hopefully, I believe fully, a proper modern nation with a bright future, that the Russians will finally look themselves in the mirror and say, why can't we do that too?
Philip, you know that we Ukrainians actually don't care about Russian.
I know you don't, and nor should, I know, I understand. I understand that.
Let's go,
I truly understand that.
Let's go back to the. By the way, you told about if you know superhumans. My brother created the. He gave me an idea to go and visit the wounded soldiers, and I started to do it. Actually, it's gonna be a year in March. Margaryta joined me, and you just missed, but like 3 of our girls here. Yeah, and we have like a group of girls, and not only in Kiev, in other cities. I also go to the east of Ukraine doing the same. So we like when you told, it's a stereotype that you see the guy with no limb and he's gonna be like sad and crying and pessimistic. No, they joke. They play tennis. We have Zhenya, a soldier with no legs, and he plays better tennis, table tennis than others. He wins like everybody. He just kick their ass all the time.
It's the strength of the Cossack. You know,
It's like,
don't mess with Cossacks.
Nope.
They're stronger than I think the Muscovites understood.
It's almost to your mouth.
There can't be. There's something happening in the West, in America, where there's this discussion that we shouldn't support them because Ukraine can't win. That's because they don't understand Ukrainians. These people who say this, even people who are elected to Congress, never come here and talk to Ukrainians. Come, talk to Ukrainians, meet Ukrainian people.
We are open
The strength and the resistance of this country, the legacy of the Cossack, the legacy of Olga, of Kiev, the patron saint of resistance and vengeance, is alive and well. Even if, God forbid, the West doesn't support the conventional forces of Ukraine, and there's a defeat on the battlefield, which I don't think is going to happen. But let's just hypothetically say that happens. The Ukrainian people will never stop fighting. There will be an insurgency. There will be partisan warfare. This is the last war of Ukrainian independence. This is it. The last one. You know, they've tried 3. This is the 3rd attempt in the last 100 years to gain independence. And this is the last fight. And they're going to win. So,
on the mic, just a second.
don't need you.
Maybe she's not.
I have this one.
So Margaryta is a singer.
Oh,
she's a mezzo-soprano.
Oh yes, I remember being at a dinner party, and you sang such a lovely version of "My Kiev." What is the song again? Yes. What was the name of the song? My beloved Kiev, or my?
Yes.
Yeah, such a beautiful rendition. Thank you. I remember it. I remember it very
Anthem
clearly.
of Kiev.
What is it?
Anthem of Kiev.
And как называется? How's it called?
Києве мій.
Києве мій.
Як тебе не любити, Києве?
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. How I love you. How much I love you.
Composers by Igor Shamo, and
You sang it beautifully.
Poetry. Thank you
So.
so much. Poetry by.
Philip?
Oh, hey, mate.
Say hi.
Yeah, you're
Hi.
running, aren't you? You're mad. You're crazy mad right now. I'm betting.
into the shot?
You know what Sky's like.
Probably not.
Not okay.
Where's
Give me
your,
a minute.
Where's your lives?
Oh, sorry. No, mate, I live here.
No, you know what Sky's like.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna get back to Philip. Oh, what am I? I hope I'm not turning off the mic. Guys, please tell me if you can hear me. Margaryta, I give you the mic. I also want to ask Lila to join us to finish the stream because it's been almost 2 hours now. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes, and the girls are freezing, and we gotta let them go. Well,
thank you, all of you, that
Thank you,
being with us. 2 hours, yes.
for 2 hours,
For
yeah.
2 hours. Thank
Well,
you.
almost 1 hour and 40 minutes. But we gotta ask Lila to come here and say goodbye. She's saying goodbye to Alina right now, and the Kipish, the cat. Kipish, the cat. There they are.
You see, we have the same. We have the same
Wow.
keychains. It's
Wow, they are awesome.
in red.
Mm-hmm. Black and red. So these have story. These keychains. Do they have story? Okay, you'll tell it someday. It's not for me to ask. Okay, and to be told. uh, much love to you, my heart. No, not my heart. My heart is yours. Okay, not me. Thanks. Nice name. Okay, so. Oh, we have the second mic there, and Lila. Okay, we'll wait for Lila. We need to finish the stream, Lila. I want to do it together with you. Huh?
No.
No, you don't want to finish.
We
You
can
want
keep
this to go for hours and hours?
A little bit more, maybe. I
But
mean, why
you're
not?
as frozen here.
You're frozen?
Yeah, you're as frozen, and Lila would go for hours. Losing some signs. Yeah, guys, I can show you the protest is finished, but there are some people are still standing who are still standing. Let me show you this. On that side of the road, there are people still standing with Azov style, or free Azov signs. Yeah, not Azov style. And here, the hero that I was telling you about at some point, Lila's here. Here
Thank
she
you
is.
guys for being with us today. You've been with us this whole day, and it's really cool. I felt like doing a bit of a double job. I mean, because I couldn't like be concentrated on what I normally am while these meetings, but I'm happy like we talk about so many good and important topics, and I'm super happy we could interview the released soldiers who were in captivity, and some
One of them.
one
right?
of them, and there was another one, by the way, but I just thought, I mean, he already like has
Yeah,
a lot of...
we need not to ask them too much, like,
Yeah.
and we need to, you know,
Maybe
be
some other
just.
time or day we could like, I don't know, we could probably organize some, but they already have a lot of interviews, but maybe like we can think about if you would like to, you know more about it, and borscht or hot chocolate, borscht of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, and meeting so many good people, and today is I remind you that today is the anniversary of the 2 years of the full invasion, and people trying to write like their thoughts, and what was it 2 days ago and 2 years ago. And I remember I wrote in my stories that thank you the armed forces of Ukraine for protecting us, and that's what I can say today, 2 years later. Keep thanking and keep supporting the armed forces of Ukraine, because it's really important to understand only because of them we are here now in the square, and only because of them, because of their sacrifice, you guys in different countries can peacefully watch this stream, and only thanks to them we can wear this amazing Ukrainian flags. And as
hats like this one.
and as Smurf, the released who was in captivity soldier, told, keep supporting Ukraine. And oh, I forgot what I wanted to say. There was one thing, and keep like talking about the soldiers.
Okay. I wanted just
Thank
to
you.
ask you guys, well, to be loud this day. This is the full scale invasion anniversary, and there in US you still have an early morning, so you have the whole day in front of you to go on the street and rally for Ukraine, to remind people that you are standing with Ukraine, that Ukraine is there, the war is still going, and the war will be won by us, but only united. So please go there and rally for Ukraine today. Put the flags up. Just you have the whole day. You have like 18 more hours to do that, and I'm sure that most of you will use that time to support Ukraine. And I know that most of you are already going to those rallies and planning to do so.
There's
And-
gonna be a lot of rallies in different countries and different cities,
Yeah.
and raise Ukrainian flag not only today but other days too, because it's not the war of Russia against Ukraine. It's the war like of the evil against the light. Come on, we're fighting on our land. It's our home, and the invaders came to our home. That's
And
simple.
if you are an American, on Monday, call, or even over the weekend, write an email, send a voicemail to your elected officials, especially if you live in a Republican district. If you are somewhere where your congressman has a chance to force Speaker Johnson to bring the aid bill to the floor to a vote, I urge you, now is more important than ever, perhaps, in this entire war. $60 billion will make a massive difference in this war, and it will go to American arms producers, and it's a necessary evil, but we do have a massive arms industry, and we can send the weapons to these people here to fight this war so that the war doesn't go into NATO countries, doesn't bleed further west. It's essential that now you contact your elected officials, you tell them that it is important to you. Each phone call, each email is going to make a difference, because of all the people who care about this, only a fraction of them will write. And so the people in Congress will recognize that. We must do it now. If you're an American, get in touch with your elected officials, tell them you support Ukraine, tell them what you're seeing here today and the resistance and the resilience of the Ukrainian people. They are dying, they are fighting and dying for the future of the Western world. Trump is a result of what Putin has been doing all throughout the world. Here, it's a hot war. People are dying here. Lives are being lost here. Every single day, Congress dithers. But while people are dying here, we are suffering from a different kind of attack in the United States, and it's an attack on our body politic. And the sooner we wake up and realize this and push back against them and recognize that this fight is our fight as well. Ukraine is not asking for troops on the ground. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
They're asking for the means to defend themselves. Send the weapons here, the Ukrainians will take the fight to the Russians so that we don't have to defend them in places like the Baltics or Poland or, God forbid, London, Paris, or New York. The insidious nature of Putin's Russia will affect everyone's lives. If Trump gets into power, it will be because Putin and the GRU and the Russian war, intellectual and psychological war, will have affected you. You know people in your lives who have been affected by the poison of the Russian propaganda machine. Recognize that it's happening. Educate yourself about how they manipulate your emotions, how they manipulate your perception of what's happening here, and push back against it. The lies that have been spread about this country, about the war that's happening here, is widespread. You know somebody who believes a narrative that was created in the Kremlin. You certainly do. So their fight is our fight. Bodies are dropping here. People are dying here. People are losing limbs. They're losing their homes. They're losing their futures. But also, we are losing our perception of who we are as a society and a culture, because they're trying to erode and destroy the concept of liberal democracy. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are things that are anathema to Putin's Russia. Alexander Dugin, about a week and a half ago, openly wrote on a social media platform that I won't even mention, because the South African who runs it has openly allowed, a disinformation campaign to be launched from that platform. But Alexander Dugin, who has a channel on that platform, openly said that the idea of human rights is a falsehood created by liberal democracies. They openly said it. So make a choice.
Wait, was it his daughter who got
His daughter was killed
Oh.
in a bomb,
Yeah,
which may
yeah,
have been
in a,
aimed
like,
at
car.
him. But regardless, Dugin, who is he is not the only philosopher. He is not. I don't want to overstate his importance, but he is representative of a movement within Russia created by Putin and fostered by this Z mentality, and they openly refute the
Zombie.
idea of inalienable rights. Do we believe in civil rights, human rights, and our inalienable rights? That's the divide, and that's the fight that's being decided here. That is the decision of whether or not we march into the future with individual liberties and rights, or do we fall under autocracy and a dictatorship that's coming primarily from places like the Kremlin. This fight is our fight. So write to your elected officials, get in touch, recognize that this fight is not just Ukraine's fight, this fight is all of our fights. I stand on this ground and I am privileged to be in Ukraine. I am humbled
Thank you.
daily by the strength of the Ukrainian people. This fight that they are fighting and dying in is so that we don't have to send our young men here to fight against a despotic, expansionist empire.
And who's your
Recognize it
friends?
and fight against it, and losing friends and loved ones.
Just this month, guys, for example, from talking from my personal experience, I lost 3 soldiers who I knew just in a month.
There's not a single person in Ukraine who has not been directly affected by this war. I have lost friends in this war myself. It's now or never. And your children will grow up in a world that will be determined by what happens here. We're at an inflection point. We either go one direction or the other. We either fall back into autocracy and the way that we have always existed as human beings, where might makes right. You know, the American project was born out of a belief that we could change and be better than the baser instincts of our nature. We're at an inflection point. We make a decision right here in Ukraine. Which direction do you want to go? Do you want to go towards democracy? Do you want your children to have a vote to live in a country where there's the rule of law? Or do you want to have your children grow up in a world that is dominated by an autocracy led by a single man who can dictate what your future is? I know which direction I'd like to go. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to stand with these people. I'm privileged to stand with these people. I'm lucky to stand with these people, and I'll be here until the end. The least you can do is write your elected officials, get in touch, and make a push. If you can send monetary support, do that as well. You don't have to come here. Send your support as you can. But I'm
Guys,
privileged
and
to be here.
today you should rally. You should rally.
100%. You can take to the streets. And
yes.
I know in America right now, it's the early hours. You know, you have a chance. There are protests. Look, you know, there are, I'm sure, websites all over the internet where you can look up where to take to the streets and to express your support. I know that there are protests happening, or you know, assemblies are happening in D.C. in particular. If you are anywhere near the Beltway, get in your car, go to the Capitol, stand on the streets, make your voices heard. This is so important. This is critical to your future. It isn't just here. It's not isolated in Ukraine. For now, it's contained in certain ways. We have a psychological war going on, but we don't have any soldiers involved in fighting. This is a time to make a decision. Are you with democracy? Do you support the idea of self-determination, the rule of law, and free and fair elections? Or do you want to live in a world that Vladimir Putin or Donald Trump envisions, where a minority, just because they have military might, that they can determine the future of you and your family's lives? It's incredibly important. I can't stress it enough. And I'm lucky to be here. So this is the ground on which we are going to make a decision of what the future is going to be.
Thank you for watching. Please like this video, leave any comment under it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. You can find the full stream recording. This clip was taken from here. And I invite you to join us on Rig the Ukrainian here for live streams and videos from Ukraine. Thank you, and live long and prosper.